Hey everybody, this is Doa, and this is LastPlayerStanding.com's Open Tournament number 2. This is the quarterfinals, the round of 8. This is our final match, and we have got another ZVP. So interestingly enough, everybody talks about the huge, massive amounts of Terrans and all the ends of tournaments, but look at this. Now, at this point, we have only one Terran left in the tournament. It's Kawaii Rice, and that is it. Otherwise, it's all Zerg and Protoss. Here we have one of those Zerg players, TenryuRH, spawning as our green Zerg in the top left part of GSL Crevasse, and down at the bottom right part of the map is our blue Protoss player, RGNPerfect, from the team Rain, of course. Hence his name, RGNPerfect. So, yeah, RGNPerfect versus TenryuRH. I don't know a lot about Tenryu, actually. I've never seen him play before. I know he is a Grandmaster on the North American server. So, you know, obviously a talented Zerg player, but we'll have to see how he can do against someone on the team Rain, such as Perfect. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in this ZVP. And cross position, so we might actually see a little bit longer ZVP too. Lately, what we've been seeing a lot in ZVP is we've been seeing the Protoss player, and I'll go ahead and put it on Rain's base, RGNPerfect's base, so we can see Protoss while I talk about Protoss. We've been seeing the Protoss player go for like Forge expands and then go into things like, oh, denying the gateway. Oh, look at that. That is great and also really annoying. Nice to see Zergs being annoying and denying Protoss buildings once in a while. But as I was saying, we've been seeing a lot of Protoss players going for, you know, early expands followed by Stargate play lately. Of course, there's a whole, you know, Phoenix or MC talking about how Phoenixes are balanced and so good. And, you know, they have been pretty good in ZVP of late. So I've been seeing a lot of that. Sometimes you see the DT expand, sometimes you still see, you know, big bio play, but overall I feel like Stargate has really dominated ZVP in the recent past here. Now, because of that, let's go back to the Zerg base here. It is a hatch first for Tenryu this game. Nothing wrong with that at all. Now, because of that, because of this prevalence of Stargate, the Zergs have all been getting this very early Evo chamber. And, you know, I've talked about it a lot before. The Evo chamber, of course, lets you get out the Spore Crawlers to hold off some of that air. And it also lets you kind of be safe against those early DTs as well. So Zergs, you know, I'd say are really in a very comfortable place early in the game in ZVP right now. The days of like the 5-gate pushes and the 4 gates and things like that in ZVP are, you know, relatively over right now. I mean, because the metagame tends to be a bit cyclical, meaning that it kind of goes around and around like the circle of life from Lion King. We might see games in the future where, you know, we do see the heavy gateway play come back, and then there's always going to be players like, you know, Choya that like to do that, oh, nice Manor Evo chamber blocking the Nexus. TenryuRH is apparently one of those Zerg players that likes to just be really harass-oriented and just really annoying. I love watching Zerg players like this. Another example of this would be like Complexity Cats, or Destiny would be another example of a Zerg player like this. Just a lot of fun to see the way you can harass players. Now the Broodlings are going to come out, possibly kill a Zealot. Oh, I was wondering if he was going to micro the Broodlings to take out the probe. That would have been great. But nope, it's going to be it. Not going to lose anything. But a nice little bit of a delay there by TenryuRH, delaying that Nexus a bit. The Overlord's just sitting there like, he got to watch the whole thing. He's going to go in to just gloat a little bit, I guess, more. Gloat a little bit more. No Zergling speed quite yet, obviously, because we don't have 100 gas. 100 gas. There is a Zergling speed for TenryuRH, so there's a couple ways he can move back into this. He's going to need some stuff to defend against these Zealots here. I think he's going to be okay, though. Not too worried about him at all. So the question now, is Rain going to go into that Stargate play like we see so often? Or is he going to produce some more gateways, go for things a little bit differently? And are these Zealots going to go into the base? Yes, they are. They're going to try to do some damage. There are 2 Queens on some Lings as well, so I think Tenryu is going to be just fine. Yeah, he's going to need to be careful microing that Queen back. Very nice job there. And Perfect trying to micro Zealots, but not really able to make a lot happen with that. And yeah, these Zealots are just going to get taken out. Very frustrating game so far for RGNPerfect, I gotta say. Yeah, probably just better to stand and fight in a situation like that. Might have killed a couple extra Zerglings, but trying to do a little bit of fancy micro didn't quite work out. So TenryuRH actually in a great position right now. He's slowed his opponent down quite a bit. He's managed to get a bit of a supply lead, and if he can hold off whatever RGNPerfect has planned, he'll do quite well. Oh, a Robo-Bay, okay, going up after the gateway. So might just decide to move into some Gateway Colossus play. Suppose that is a possibility as well. And kind of like I had mentioned, there is the early Evo chamber going up for TenryuRH. Wants to stay safe here, especially with getting this third base. He's going to be able to make a Spore Crawler too and walk those down there. Probably send a Queen down there as well. Trying to extend his creep as best he can. And so now we'll see a bit of a lull in the game as you know, the map control is kind of ceded over to Tenryu for the moment. And RGNPerfect is going to have to wait until his tech gets a little bit more developed. Oh, there's a robotic space. So yeah, it is going to be just Gateway Robo right now. And Roach Warren going up for Tenryu as well as the Lair. So, you know, what we could see is a good amount of Roach upgrades, just kind of heavy Roach play from Tenryu. I think that'd be perfectly fine to do against what Perfect is planning here, especially if you get something like Burrowed Movement. Yep, can definitely leave a Zergling here to watch for the expansion as well. And looks like Rain wants to chase those Zerglings away. Yeah, so, okay. I was thinking this might be double forge, but nope, it's not. You notice the wall of the little glowing light is the same size. The circle is actually different for the forge and the gateway. If you're scouting your opponent's base and you're clicking on stuff really quick, that's one way you can kind of tell. First Colossus on the way for RGNPerfect. And, okay, so melee upgrades actually going down for Tenryu. Alright. So are we going to see those Roach upgrades? I'd love to see Burrowed Roach play against this, but we'll have to see. Looks like instead it's actually going to be a Spire going up. Let's see, it's going up somewhere. There it is, Spire. And that makes me wonder, did he actually get a Zergling in there to see things? Oh, he actually did. He did get a nice scout of RGNPerfect space, so he knows exactly what he's going up against. So yeah, the Spire is absolutely the right call with that. And get the Corruptors going very, very quickly. And Corruptor Roach is kind of the good old-fashioned anti-Gateway Colossus mix, so that can work okay as well. We have seen a lot of Zerg players go for Zergling, Baneling, Infestor, Corruptor into Broodlord as well, so there's some different options. Taking a fourth, I would say, is also a good option. So RGNPerfect may be thinking about moving out here. Wants to make sure his third is secure. I think it'd be a little bit dangerous to move out at the moment. Certainly not dangerous for that one Zealot. You can take out that Zergling fairly easily. Yep, Zergling goes in there. It will see the expansion. Alright, so what's the plan right now? Oh, and if you look at this, Tenryu just has great scouting at the moment. Look at that. That is a vision for Tenryu. He can see basically the entire map almost. Now the Spire did just finish, and right away an Infestation Pit as well. Infestors are just so good right now in nearly every matchup for Zerg. It's not very often where you see a Zerg game where they don't go for Infestors at some point. ZVZ, I suppose, would be the big exception here. And an Overlord Scout going up for Tenryu. He's going to see everything that he can see. Oh, and look at that. He actually does see the Twilight Council right there as well. So, I mean, Tenryu has just been playing this game absolutely splendidly. I mean, he's scouted everything at just the right time. He's been able to prepare for everything that RGNPerfect has. He's been taking extra bases, getting a good amount ahead in supply. So, I mean, right now, RGNPerfect is definitely at a huge disadvantage this game. Just because he's not so sure what Tenryu is doing well, whereas Tenryu knows exactly what he's doing and can prepare accordingly. Yeah, very cool game from our Zerg player. Very well played so far. Except that Queen should be injecting larva. Inject. Oh well. So Ling Roach Corruptor initially gonna be followed up probably by some Infestors. Might just be using that for Fast Hive. Nope, will be Infestors. There is the Pathogen Glands. Always nice to get that upgrade going before you make your Infestors. The reason why you want to do that is because then when your Infestors, your first ones spawn, they'll already have that energy boost. Otherwise you need to like wait for them to have enough to fungal and all that, and that's no fun. Nobody likes that. Looks like RGNPerfect might be trying to move out on the map, but he went for Colossi so quickly. He's been teching so hard that look, he just does not have a lot of gateway units to support these Colossi. It makes me a little bit worried about this push. We'll have to see how he can do. At the very least, you know, he's able to go out. Oh, but here comes Tenryu. Some Zerglings getting caught up there. get taken out very quick, but there's just so much stuff for Tenryu right now. So far ahead in supply. Yeah, there just was not enough gateway units to support that. And yeah, I think Tenryu actually might just overrun RGNPerfect right now, to be honest with you. Yeah, all three of those Colossi dying very, very quickly. RGNPerfect trying to tech again. He's got a Templar Archives out. He's trying to do the best he can. But it's like too much tech too fast, I think, this game for RGNPerfect. You can just see how he just didn't have a lot of support for his big, expensive, good units. And Tenryu gearing up for another push here. 173 supply to 130. So far ahead. Not the best control. Bad rally there from Tenryu. Oops. Tenryu, man, that's a lot of Hadokens. I know. Alright, so units continuing to get rallied into RGNPerfect's army. But, you know, RGNPerfect definitely out of position here, and Tenryu knows it. He might just go ahead and go for this third base here. And there is not a lot that our Protoss player has to defend against this. Oh, this is actually going to be pretty rough for our Protoss player. Krupp just taking out this one Colossi very, very quickly. And yeah, this Nexus is just going to die, actually. Kill the Nexus. There we go. Okay, so Nexus is going to die. Maybe might have overextended a little bit here. Losing a couple units, getting away, but look at this. Nexus has to get cancelled because of this Zergling counterattack here. Tenryu just completely outplaying RGNPerfect this game. Oh, catching a couple Infestors there. That's a nice little score there for RGNPerfect. But overall, I mean, Tenryu's just been playing so much better than RGNPerfect this game in a lot of ways. And yeah, Fungal on all the units. I think this game is going to end very soon. Perfect may decide to try to stay in. Try to maybe force it to work. But Tenryu getting a lot of bases right now. GG. That 1.3.7 is out yet. That's why I lose this game. What? I don't know, RGNPerfect. I think I can tell you why you didn't win that game. You didn't win it because you didn't scout very well. You tech too quickly. Whereas Tenryu scouted magnificently, took a lot of bases, got some great map position, was able to just basically really outplay RGNPerfect. Nothing other than that. No patch issues here. This was just plain old outplaying. So that was game 1. After an ending like that, we'll have to see how game 2 goes. Be right back, guys.